and we can break some news to you that's come to us from Ben. And this is that Gianni Infantino has issued an apology to the football world for the plans to privatise the World Cup and sell shares off to some of his mates. Here we go. He says, "We sincerely apologise for these errors and commit to them not happening again. With this in mind, we will conduct a necessary review and a report will be presented to the FIFA Council at its next scheduled meeting." We'll try to get Ben on, but what this suggests to me is that Gianni Infantino is set to remain in post, that he's done the maths and he knows the magic number 106. There are 211 FIFA members, 106 that support him means he can stand for another term as FIFA president. And he's clearly done the maths and he thinks, I've got support, whether it's from South America, from Africa, from Asia. He thinks he can carry on. Jermaine Pennant, after the absolute circus that some of this World Cup was off the pitch, what do you make of the fact that Gianni Infantino is shamelessly clinging to power and it's seemingly thinking that he's going to get away with a little apology?
No, I think it's shocking. I think everyone should come together and say, right, Tino, it's time to pack your bags, mate. I'm not even going to say thank you for what you've done because it's like I said, this last one's been an absolute shambles, this World Cup. But you can't put the game into dispute like he has done. Yeah. You know, football is not anything for privatising. It's not for corporates. It's not for them to get their hands on and dictate how the football is being played. Football is football. It's been the same way for centuries, donkey's years. And then for someone to come in and try and tweak it and change it here just for the behalf of getting more money for the corporates to fill their pockets, I think is sickening and shocking. And I think the people who, the governments and the FAs and whatnot, and the federations should say, right, if you don't resign, willfully resign and hold your hands up and take a back seat and have another role within FIFA. If you don't do that, then we should all come together and try and, get a vote of no confidence.
I couldn't agree more with you, Jermaine. You said sickening and shocking. That's exactly what Gianni Infantino has. And in many ways, he's put the ball back in the court of all of the football federations like UEFA, who've come out on talkSPORT this week to say they want a new leader. He's put the ball back in their court. The only thing they can do, if Gianni Infantino is shamelessly going to sit there and say, I'm going to carry on, here's an apology, forget about me trying to sell the game off, forget about me trying to quarterize the game in 4 quarters so that sponsors can enjoy more money from the World Cup. UEFA need to make it absolutely clear they will not participate in a World Cup while Gianni Infantino is FIFA president. They were strong when these plans came out and they said, we won't participate in a World Cup while these are still plans. But now they need to take a step further. They need to listen to the good football supporting fans that pay their money desperately trying to follow their nation around the world. And they need to say, we're not having it. Infantino's out. Otherwise, we're not playing in a World Cup.
Like, you got to give full credit to UEFA the way they've stood up to it, because I think if it wasn't for UEFA, these plans would have gone ahead.
Yeah,
it was a fact that UEFA were willing to pull out of a World Cup, and you lose the players like Mbappe, Lamine Yamal, Jude Bellingham, Kane, all these star players. You're losing them all, which put the brakes on Infantino. So I think, to see what he's doing, like we said, is terrible. For other federations not to think the same and on the same plan and go, yeah, mate, that's not good, pal.
Yeah,
you're
ruining the game.
You're ruining the game. We need how do we trust in the next World Cup?
Exactly.
If are other nations federations getting backhanders, or are they getting more preferential treatment? There's so much while he's at the helm that can be put into dispute and questioned.
You talk about preferential treatment. talkSPORT have been reporting today that sources from the Royal Moroccan Football Federation have been telling us that Gianni Infantino has promised at the World Cup final, which of course the World Cup's in Morocco, Portugal, Spain, a couple of games in South America. I mean, that's ridiculous in and of itself. They've been telling talkSPORT that FIFA have promised. Now, FIFA deny this, but they're telling us FIFA have promised that the World Cup final will be in Morocco if they support Gianni Infantino. And so it seems that the head of the Jordan FA said that FIFA owe them money for the Arab Cup and that they've blackmailed them. Yep. FIFA will deny this, but this is what the Jordan FA say, that you've got to support us and then you'll get your money. I mean, it's clear that the smaller nations, extending it to 64 teams, these smaller nations are going to love it. 20, 40, 50 million in the back pocket for RFA. So he's garnering support. He's like the Pied Piper. He's got these smaller nations that are seeing this money and thinking we can't turn that down. But the big nations, UEFA, have to make a stand. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, and hopefully we get to the bottom of it, and a statement saying, "Yeah, I'm sorry, and it won't do it again,
enough.
and I'm going to do a review." You're not going to, bro. It's you. You're the one who. You don't need to review it.
Yeah.
You know what you've done. You know why you did it, and you know what you're trying to gain from it. So I'm really shocked that he's going to be in another, if he lasts his term. I would be shocked, because this is, we talk about Sepp Blatter. I think this is.
He looks like a saint.
Yeah, this is worse. This is
shocking.
Worse.
Honestly, nothing in football has boiled my blood more than the way Gianni Infantino has behaved, and I think it's been disgraceful. But from a player's perspective, Jermaine, how do you think players would feel about UEFA pulling them out of the World Cup? Playing at a World Cup is,
it's the Holy Grail.
It's the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
And potentially, if UEFA are going to, stand firm, there's a risk that the top players in the world won't get a chance to play at a World Cup. Do you think that there'd be kickback from players?
I don't think so, because players stay out of politics. Players, we just, we do what we're told. If there's no competition, there's no competition. Oh, I said, but I'm sure UEFA would have put on a different competition, which would probably be just as good.
And make them some money. Let's, UEFA have looked good during this, but let's not be honest. A few years ago, they're trying to sell us a Super League.
And they learned the lesson quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, players wouldn't have really. Of course, you're going to care about not playing the World Cup. But like I said, if UEFA are chosen to do this and the FA is sticking by it as well, the players will go, okay, well, we kind of work for these, so we got to do what we're kind of told.
Saying that, though, I honestly believe wholeheartedly, if UEFA stand firm and say, we ain't playing in your World Cup, mate, while you've still got the crown, then it all falls apart. Because you can't have a World Cup with no European teams.
No, it's the UEFA has got the biggest leagues, the most money, generate the most money, and obviously
a lot of the best players.
A lot of the best players are there, so corporate sponsors, they want to see them. That's what the fans want to see. So without that, the tournament is probably half of what it is.
UEFA, do the right thing, hold your nerve, have some bottle, boycott the World Cup while Gianni Infantino is in charge. It's as simple as that. Then all football fans and you will get your way. We're going to break now, because delighted to say joining us after the break is the man at the very heart of this story, breaking so much of the news that we're hearing regarding Gianni Infantino. It's talkSPORT senior football correspondent Ben Jacobs for more on this shortly. If you want to have your say and give us your thoughts, pick up the phone, start dialing 03717 223344.